All right, good morning, traders. Good morning, traders. How we doing? How we feeling? Another Fed day is upon us, and a busy one, and a busy FOMC day. We'll play with that later. All right, trying to incorporate my iPad into the mix. Figure it out later. Should have had that ready already. All right, so let's get on into it. Get going with this quote today. And today we have: being afraid of things going wrong isn't the way to make things go right. All right. Feel like that fits, trading so well. All right. So that is the quote of the day. Get that out the way. All right. Let's jump on over here to this and look at our economic calendar. mv3trader.com. No cap. I mean capitalization. Come on, internet. All right, so today is Wednesday. All right, so at 8:30 we had core retail sales and the CPI. 10:30 we got crude oil inventories, but of course, what's in everybody's sights today is the FOMC activities at 1400. FOMC economic projections, FOMC statement, and Fed interest rate decisions. 30 minutes later, we got the FOMC press conference. All right, so the Feds have a busy day. This afternoon, they have a lot going on. So, wish I could trade it. We know how I feel about trading the morning session of a Fed day, especially when this busy. So, we'll see. Stay positive. See what we can get. All right, then tomorrow we have building permits at 8:30, and initial jobless claims, and the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, and Friday, nothing. All right, as of right now. Sometimes we got to make sure we're checking the economic calendar, because they could throw something in there at the last minute. So as of right now, that's what we got. All right, so NQ future sessions power range. All right, so for the NQ weather report, we got a high of 11,463 and 0.5 with a low of 11,446.25. At the time of this posting, which was at 8:19, we were trading bullish. That has changed. We will look at that in a minute. And we were up 0.30% with a volume of 83K and 317.01 ATR, which is a little less than the previous days. All right, so let's go ahead and look at how that reacted to our fib lines. And I didn't put it in there. But anyway, you can still see the price action. I forgot to do that one. All right, so you can see we had a little stair-step pattern, bullish climb overnight, and now we're trading back into that power range. So I have a little cup and handle here at the open of the today's session, and we're retesting that that area right now as we speak. So actually overall it's still bullish, but if you're looking, depending on how you're looking at it, you can also look at this as kind of neutral. So overall I still got it bullish. We'll see what happens when the market opens up. All right, and look at that on a 3-minute. Before I jump over to my Sierra chart setup. So we're trading on 3-minute. We're trading below the 200 right now. So yeah, it's still that looks, for me this looks neutral. A lot of indecision right here in the pre-market, which is expected for a Fed day. And then we had the 8:30 stuff on the retail sales and all that. So, all right. So today, should be pretty interesting. And let's get some tunes in my ear. Got any sports fans in the audience watching the NBA finals or the NBA playoffs? Last night was pretty interesting. Everybody had the Clippers to make it, as a favorite to win it all this year, and they got knocked out by Denver. So some interesting things are to talk about in the market this morning. That's not related. I'm just a big basketball fan. But I'm not saying anything, super interesting in the news in terms of the market this morning. That's what I can use this for. Trying to figure out how I can incorporate, because I got my new setup. I got a little this what I'm using for a monitor stand, which it actually is a monitor stand. It has indentions for where you can place your mobile devices like an iPad or your phone. So I got my iPad sitting right here. I'm trying to figure out how I can incorporate it into what I'm doing. Got about 5 minutes to the bell. I've already looked at everything I wanted to look at. Let me pull up Sierra. Everybody's talking about the new products that Apple are releasing. I saw somebody post something about their glasses. They look pretty cool. Alright, less than a minute. Been lock in. Bounced off the lower part of that power range. Right, and we're off. So technically my setup gives me the green light to take take trades short right now, which honestly makes sense since the short-term trend is bearish. So that's what I'll be looking for as of right now. But with it being a Fed day, I'm definitely not looking for any, major trend moves. A lot of indecision in that first candle. I'm looking at between Ninja Trader and Sierra. It's helpful having them both side by side, and I can see the difference in the data and how each of them display the different. I'm looking at both of them on a 3-minute chart, so it's interesting to see how both platforms display the data differently. It's on Sierra. The last 2 3-minute candles, they look tempting to take it short, but in Ninja Trader it doesn't. It looks like a lot of, and it doesn't look the same. Which one to trust? Yep, it's like, should trust the error. And sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes Sierra says signal or no signal, and Ninja Trader says gives a signal. So that's, that's one of those. It's another reason why I don't like trading in multiple platforms. Not the same strategy anyway. Like, I don't mind, of course. Let's say I want to, swing trade options and at the same time as I'm day trading, whatever. So, of course, it makes sense to, use multiple platforms for that. But if you're doing it, if you're trading the same thing, trading with multiple platforms can, work against you. So I would have got a scalp out of that one. So didn't miss a whole lot anyway. It is a fair day. We also have to remember that. But one thing that doesn't change is the price action. And the price action that I was looking at was indecision. So when I say price action, what I mean is like what's actually going on. I know some people use they say price action for everything, or they interchange. They use price action and price structure kind of to mean the same thing. But what I'm looking at, like everything that happened before, I'm calling this price structure. What's going on right now is what I'm calling price action. Just to clarify that.
Order submitted.
Those wicks are way too wild for me. I'm just gonna
Order
wait for things to
canceled.
calm down. If they do calm down. I had an order sitting right there for 480. Hindsight, I could have had it right there with price turned around.
Order
445.
submitted. Order canceled.
Yep, gotta take a hindsight capital screenshot. I'll post that in the journal. So we're taking this even though like I feel like the Bulls really have the control today. That's why I'm not, crazy about taking anything short this morning. And right now we may have some price. We may have some profit taken, and a little bit of battle going on between the buyers and the sellers. But even though short term we have there's a we're trading bearish. I'm actually favoring the long side as of right now. Yeah, that all can change this afternoon for sure, depending on the reaction we get from the FOMC stuff. That's just my read on the market. Right now I'm looking right here at 444 and a quarter. Well, actually it's a range from there to 440, but because of this these two candles here, what are those called? Anyway, because of these two candles, I feel that that's more bearish. I mean, bullish than bearish. To me, this is more of a strong buy signal. And see, this is one thing, I don't know if y'all saw I did my recap for yesterday's morning session, where I narrated what I was looking at. One of the things I mentioned is how how the indicators can move. And, so like what you're looking at in hindsight may not necessarily be what happened in the moment. And we can see just now, this line I have from my volume profile, it just went higher. It just moved up, and it's based off of volume, so it makes sense that it's adjusting intraday. But I just wanted to point that out again. That's just something to take note of when we're back testing. strategy development side of the game. And see, this is why I don't usually like Fed days. The last couple of Fed days haven't been the same, but this is the kind of Fed that I'm used to seeing, where we have all of these wicks, and there's a lot of indecision in the morning. There may be like one quick pop, and then things come down, or the price action is just it's extremely difficult to trade because the market doesn't pick a direction, and you have this pretty much, the way I see it, is like it's a participation going on by both sides, but everybody's really just waiting for the afternoon. So that's usually I've kind of developed this I guess mentality where I don't favor trading the mornings of that we have Fed stuff going on in the afternoons, especially if Powell is going to speak at lunchtime or in the morning session. Typically I don't like to trade those days. So it's another reason why I'm more passive on these days. Like I don't try to be aggressive at all, and it's just based off of my my experience with these days. So just based off of that price action there, I was looking at this area here at 444. If I would have, if I took that, I don't think I would have got enough of a bounce back lower to take a scalp. I mean, technically I could have. Actually, we did trade back down here for a minute, so I could have just traded it here to here. So okay, in hindsight, go ahead and make a hindsight capital note for that one. That'll serve me later. And what I usually do with these, when I'm taking these screenshots, I usually study them like later on, and it's really just committing them to memory. It's not, it's not really anything more than that. I'm just putting these mental pictures in my head so that when I see them again in the future, I have a reference. But lately I've been so busy with other stuff, I haven't really had the time to do it as much as I would like to do it. A minute and 30 seconds. So that's time to screenshot this. Let's shoot my shot.
Order submitted. Order filled. Stop filled.
Got caught in a trap right there. So technically that was a signal, that a trade that I had to take. That's actually one of the easiest things for me to see is a break of a candle. You know, those are super easy to see. And you know, my setup, because of the way my strategy works, though, you know, that was one of the setups that I had to take. And I don't want to become trigger shy, so even though, you know, I didn't have a lot of confidence in that play, I had to take it just to keep pulling the trigger. Which is why I didn't call it out. Yep, the stop was too tight. Yeah, so I had the direction right, it's just my stop loss was too tight. Gotta make a note to myself to go back and look at that inside of the journal. Oh, I did that on Ninja Trader. I can replay it. So I was watching someone else trade live, another YouTuber I like to follow, and one of the questions that he got was about trading like in front of people or trading live in front of a lot of people, and the psychological effects of that. And for me personally, I find that it keeps me accountable. So while I'm sharing my experience and everything, and I made this channel to help other traders with the lessons that I've learned in my experience. But you guys coming and watching also helps me. So for me it keeps me accountable, because if I'm just here trading by myself, it's easy for me to switch over to sim trading or something, which doesn't really help me. I don't need it at this point. It's easy for me to let my psychological barriers get in my way, or for me to not do what I'm supposed to be doing. So it keeps me accountable. You guys watching helps me. So I really do appreciate everybody that shows up and trades with me. That just came to my mind. After taking that loss. Of course, it's not easy taking losses in front of other people. But for me, it doesn't bother me that much. And a little, part of my journey when I tried to, I'd just say in 2018, when I really started taking future, I was taking future serious I just put it this way. In 2018, I went through a string of losses that kind of put emotions to me taking losses. When I started, I was, trading fearless, and I didn't really have I didn't have any feelings towards taking losses until I, started taking a string of losses, and I didn't have as much discipline, and I didn't have the experience. So I was just trading wildly and making a lot of mistakes and taking a lot of trades that I should not have taken. So actually, for me, I hear a lot of people talk about the fear of taking a loss as a new trader. I don't like to use the term newbie, but as a new trader, where for me it was kind of the opposite. I didn't have that fear at all when I started, but I kind of developed the fear after I was just trading reckless and taking a lot of losses. So now I had to reverse all of that, which is much harder to do. It's much harder to reverse that development of the fear than it is to develop the fear. But it is possible. I didn't close that right, but it's all good. Looks like we could be forming a pennant pattern right here. We got a higher low, but we have not made we don't have a higher high yet. Another thing about these live streams is it helps me to speak out what I'm seeing. There's a power. Words have power, and it helps when you. I'm looking at this candle. It helps when you speak or you write down what you're seeing. more so than just keeping it all in your head. So that's another benefit for me trading live on YouTube. See, I just do not like this price action at all. It's tradable, but my signals are not clear. And also my strategy as it's designed right now doesn't do so well in all this indecision. As we saw earlier, where, the way that the strategy is laid out now, instead of getting a wick out of this, or getting a scalp out of this, I actually got stopped out too early. It would have been nice to take that one. Wow. Don't even have any hindsight capital insight. Alright. So as you can already tell, I did decide to stay live for my whole trading session this morning. However, though, it doesn't look like we're going to get anything in the next 7 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. I definitely appreciate y'all for coming and trading with me. And all of that good stuff. I hope y'all are doing much better than me out there. Hope y'all have a good rest of the day, good rest of the week. And I will holler at y'all later. Deuces.